So guys, we are here at FFG's World Championship Weekend. The year is 2014, and we have just gotten our hands on the first war pack for the Conquest living card game. What's this called? Howl of Blackmane?
The Howl of Blackmane.
The Howl of Blackmane. So let's take a look at the man himself, starting with Warlord-murdering. He's a soldier, he's a space wolf, and he has a reaction. After your warlord commits to a planet with an enemy warlord, deal 2 damage to a target enemy unit at that planet. He's a 2/7 and a 7/7 for his starting resources. We flip him over, he gets bloodied. He's at 2/5.
He's still a 2/5.
He's still a 2/5.
What is going on?
Robert, thoughts?
He is beefy, he's aggro, he's self-righteous. I don't know what else I need to say about this guy. I think he looks great. He's a tooth filer.
I've heard that, yeah.
He's a bit bitey. So I think this is great. This is opening up a new avenue for playing the game in a big way. I mean, it was always there, but now you can really play to the Warlord assassination like you couldn't before.
I mean, it's such a great little flavor and just a great little avenue to take the game, right?
Yep.
Where it's like, yeah, we know, we've kind of introduced this idea that you lose the game and your warlord dies. And sometimes that happens. Like, in certain games, you'll find that I have no way out but to maybe just kill the warlord.
Totally.
This guy is like, I have no way out but to just kill the warlord from turn 1.
From turn 1. That's all I want to do.
That I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be very rewarding for a lot of players. What's interesting to me, and hear me out on this.
I'm hearing you.
This is Steven's crazy oddball theory from Worlds 2014. Whenever this guy first releases and this thing happens and all the synergy that's in his signature squad starts going off, your opponent's going to be like, oh my god, he's so good, and they're going to lose a lot of games to him. But I think that the way to deal with Ragnar is to beat him at his own game.
Yep.
I think you just let him come over. He comes to your plane, you know exactly where he's going to be. That's a huge advantage. You put a lot of units where your warlord's going to be. Come on over, and then it's like, I'm going to shield that damage, I'm going to indomitable, and I'm going to destroy you.
Yep.
I'm going to take you to bloodied, I'm going to retreat you, and then, move your 2/5 over to my planet. I dare you.
Bring me that 5 hit points to win the game. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if you are going to be coming up against this guy, his straightforwardness is simultaneous his strength and his weakness.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have many tricks, but the one trick he does have is potent, and you just need to know that that's all he's got. You got to be ready to counter it.
Well, let's see if he has some tools to make it harder to do exactly what I just said.
Yes, indeed. All right, so this is an attachment. It's his primary attachment that comes in his signature squad. It's called Frostfang. It costs 2 with 3 shields, and it is relic, war gear, and weapon traded. Limit 1 relic per player. Attached to a Space Wolves unit. Big deal right there. And then finally reading, attached unit gets +2 attack and +2 hit points while it is at a planet with an enemy warlord.
Makes it a lot more difficult.
It makes it way more difficult.
Once Frostfang is around, maybe you don't fight him anymore.
Exactly, yeah, right. But like, even as powerful as this attachment is, we're still going to be dealing with the biggest problem with this particular kind of warlord who's trying to kill the other guy's warlord, and that how do you nail down your opponent's warlord? How do you get really good at anticipating it, and will he have a little few supplements that will allow him to bounce here and there, kind of like the Eldar do currently, in order to get to the planet that they need to be to kill the warlord?
Yeah, it almost feels like, what you need to be looking at with this guy is not so much to completely maximize all the synergy throughout your deck of just being where the warlord is trying to kill it, because that puts all those eggs in that one basket, which he's already doing with his signature squad. It's mainly, I think, about taking out those weaknesses, so doing a lot of things that don't involve you attacking a warlord, resource gathering, those kind of things, so that you can play both games and always have this threat on the table. That's kind of where I'm landing on this guy.
For sure, man.
But Frostfang is a straight up +2/+2.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if you're at the planet,
3 shields,
you gotta retreat.
Yeah, fantastic.
Get out of there.
All right, what's next, man?
We finally we have a support here for Ragnar. It's Ragnar's War Camp. It's a 3-cost support, which is hefty.
It is hefty.
A lot of times, supports are awesome because you can play them out cheaply and then you don't commit units anywhere. This is a real commitment, but it says each Space Wolves unit you control at a planet with your warlord deals double damage while attacking an enemy warlord.
That's crazy, man.
And
Just crazy.
We were talking earlier, and anytime a non-static bonus is on a card, watch out.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're doubling or tripling something, we've got to be aware of how significant that can be.
Well, you have an ordinary weenie type unit who's going to hit for 2. You add the Frostfang, he's hitting for 4. You add the support, he's hitting for 8.
That's a single Warlord.
It's one-shotted. You're going to have some potent shields to ward that off, at least a 3, because most Warlords are going to have 7 hit points, if not less or more, whatever.
The only thing that can make this better is if we had Space Wolves units in addition to the Warlord itself.
I think we just might.
Is there any way that's possible?
I don't know. Maybe it's the next card. Oh, wait, it is. The next up card is the Blackmane Sentinel. It's a 2-cost army with 1 command icon, 2 attack, 2 hit points, soldier, and Space Wolves traded. Reaction: after your Warlord commits to a planet, move this unit to that planet. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do with this?
The art on this is amazing.
It is amazing.
It gets me amped.
That helmet is killing it. Most importantly, I think that ability is stellar, but this guy costs 2. He costs 2. I think that is one of the cheapest. I think Chaos and somebody else has that. But when you're playing a faction that has a signature squad that has 3-cost staple units as part of it, you feel that way disproportionately as opposed to having one that costs 2. So this is absolutely fantastic, and he's always going to have his bros helping out. They're just going to pop right over to wherever he is and lend a hand, and that is some awesome logistical power right there.
Love the flavor, love the idea, and it is a reaction, which is
optional,
voluntary, right? Yeah. So you don't have to talk about making hard decisions for your opponent, right?
You're right.
There's just no good place to go. You can't hide. Whoa. All right, let's talk about Blackmane's Hunt, because it's pretty much what's been going on.
Last card of the signature squad here.
That is, it has a shield. It's a 0-cost event. It's a tactic. After your Warlord commits to a planet, commit your Warlord to an adjacent planet. This card is amazing not only for the obvious reasons.
It's what we were looking for.
But this card is amazing because it gives utility. I mean, it doesn't have to be about hunting the Warlord. It could be about going here, and then there's these 2 Void Pirates that I can then shift over and kill.
Yep.
So it really allows you to do great things. I don't want to lose this command struggle. Boom, I'm over here. I want to kill this guy. Boom, I'm over here.
Exactly, and let's bounce back over here to old Ragnar here. His reaction says, after your Warlord commits to a planet with an enemy Warlord, deal 2 damage. So you're not going to be able to get that first thing off if the Warlord isn't present, but you can at least get the option of having him go where he wants to.
Moving it around.
Not as powerful as the, Farsight or whatever it is for the Eldar.
Man, so this Blackmane's Hunt works with this, right?
What does?
If you use this to move him to a Warlord planet, then you can then trigger his ability.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Totally.
Unreal, man.
Totally.
Unreal.
All right, next up, our first, what are we calling these? Iggy guys? Is that the popular nom de guerre?
Yeah, that's the popular term, Iggy, but Astra Militarum, I guess. Better be safe.
All right, so it is an Interrogator Acolyte. He costs 3. He's, of course, an army. 1 command icon, 2 attack, 2 hit points, soldier and inquisitor, traded, and then reading interrupt. When this unit leaves play, draw 2 cards. Fantastic.
It's a great little card. This faction is certainly always looking for card draw.
Oh my gosh.
And they certainly always seem to find it in killing their own dudes, which is totally fine. 3 costs for 1 command icon and a 2/2 is not great. You want him to do something before he leaves play. Certainly if you just chuck him, it's not really worth it. But he definitely gets my attention for the new Inquisitor Warlord who's coming down the pipe.
That's correct.
Where you can sacrifice a unit to give that Warlord +3. You attack with this guy, sacrifice him, give your Warlord +3, draw 2 cards. That's the kind of stuff that he's built for, I think.
Worth noting also, he's an allied card, so this guy's only going to work within the faction.
Makes a lot of sense.
It keeps things under control.
Let's talk about Muster the Guard, another one for the Astra Militarum. It's a 1 shielded 0-cost event, and it says deploy action to tactic and a maneuver. Exhaust your Warlord to reduce the cost of each Astra Militarum unit you deploy this phase by 1. Now that is phenomenal.
0 cost, 1 shield. This is amazing.
First turn of the game.
These guys want to swarm. They want to get their weenies out there. They want to get control of all the planets in the sector, and this is the kind of card that's going to let them have the economy to do it.
This is just a massive card for Astra Militarum.
I agree.
Just a massive card. It helps Strachan out tremendously with his signature squad being 2. Playing those Strachans for 1 is unreal. And then, again, going to the already spoiled Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum Warlord, you exhaust that guy, he starts 8/8.
Yeah.
You've got an additional card and resource to start the game. Now you're able to just flood out first turn. It's just fantastic.
That's crazy. Excellent card there. Next up, we have Noble Deed. It is an Astro Militarum event costing 1 with 1 shield. Tactic traded, reading action. Sacrifice an Astro Militarum unit to deal damage equal to its printed attack value to a target enemy army unit at the same planet.
Supremely good.
Holy smokes.
Supremely good.
That is crazy.
It's very important to have this kind of effect available to you, right? Especially when you can attack with something, then sacrifice it to deal that damage again.
Interrupting the attack cycle is a really big deal, and this does exactly that.
It's just surprise. Especially, I mean, if you're playing around with some range stuff, if you're playing around with that kind of an army where you get those first hits, and then it's like, now I got to take it. I'm just going to sack him and kill this big hitter, and it's like, all right, I win.
It's beautiful. Big help for Astro Militarum there.
Let's talk about the Death Skull Ludus. These are some orcs, a 4-cost orc army, 2 command icons.
That's a big deal.
2 attack, 3 defense. React, it's a warrior. After this unit damages an enemy unit by an attack, destroy a target enemy support card.
That's huge.
This is just an important effect to have in the game. I don't know that this is the army to really
focus on,
bring it home, but certainly we need some kind of support destruction effects to really make things work, you know?
Yeah, you totally do.
And as we get more and more great supports, we've already seen plenty, these guys are very important, and 2 command icons really makes me like them as a way to leverage the ability to go and snipe like some low hit point units. Void Pirates come to mind. I put my Ludus over here, I kill your dude, I win the command struggle, and I get to kill one of your supports.
And as we just saw, the supports are getting crazy already.
Yes.
So you're going to want to take them out of play because they're awesome.
You hit a 3-cost, Ragnar support. This guy's more than paid for.
More than paid for sure. All right, next up we got Smash and Bash. It is a 2-cost orc event with 1 shield, a tactic traded, reading, combat, action, big deal right there. Deal 1 damage to each unit you control at a target planet without an enemy warlord to ready up to 3 units you control at that planet.
Huge orc synergy here.
Anything that readies. What game have we played that has things that exhaust or kneel and then ready up has standing up characters no matter what the price not been awesome?
It's always awesome, and for the orcs in particular with the brutal keyword where they get more powerful with damage.
Good point.
It's even better. So I see this as a great little orc tool. Don't know if it'll be like, in every orc deck, but certainly it will be in the right orc deck, I would say.
And these poor Imperial Guard guys just got smashed and bashed.
Yeah, just destroyed.
I feel sorry for them there.
Just destroyed.
Just a little sad.
Let's talk about the Death Guard infantry.
Look at this guy.
A ridiculously looking, it looks like a Tim Burton creation, this guy.
That's the stuff of nightmares right there.
He's a 3-cost warrior, Death Guard, and most importantly, a Nurgle.
Yes.
And we know we have that Nurgle Warlord on the way.
Coming up.
1 command icon, 2 attack, 4 hit points. The end.
What more do you need?
This is just a fatty. He's got a 1 command icon. He's got a lot of health to soak stuff up.
The Nurgle trait for sure. We're going to see probably what happens with Death Guard. It'll probably be something nice.
I think Nurgle trait plus a lot of health is very important because they have a lot of soaking damage and giving it out kind of effects.
They're little damage batteries. All right, next up we've got the Heretic Inventor. It's a 1-cost Chaos army with a 1 command icon, 3 attack, and 3 hit points. All that for 1. Scholar traded, reading forced reaction, so this has to happen. After this unit enters play, your opponent may move it to a planet of his choice.
That makes things very interesting,
Things amazingly
Are you willing to pay 1? Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve, what's going on? You seen this guy?
I will pay 1, put him wherever you want. I don't care. This planet, that planet, I don't care.
He costs 1.
He
Look
costs
at him.
Yeah, he costs 1.
He's a 3/3.
Put him
Where do you want to
anywhere.
put him?
Put him anywhere.
Even if he didn't have that command icon, he would be worth it. But he does.
But he does. So put him wherever you want.
More importantly to note here that he is an allied guy. If this guy weren't allied, it would be game over. If Dark Eldar could start splashing this,
He'd be a lot of places.
it'd be over. It'd be over.
This is a great early game play,
You want
right?
to put him here?
Yeah.
I do.
I don't want to put him anywhere.
Oh, we're there.
I don't care.
We'll take him anywhere.
Even at the very worst case scenario, right? You play him in the first turn, you play him at the very beginning, your opponent moves into the 5th planet.
Right.
The game could easily go to the 5th planet. You want to have like 3 inventors just sitting over
Just
there?
have them hanging out, man.
Please.
Eventually, they will be worth your time.
All right, picking it up on the Uber Grotesque, a 5-cost army, 1 command icon, 3 attack, 5 hit points, creature, abomination, and elite.
Elite. Watch out.
No war gear attachments.
Okay.
And a reaction, after you play a Torture event card, this unit gets +3 attack until the end of the phase.
End of the phase. Now that's a big deal. Phases are fairly long times, and that's a big deal for him to be considerably more powerful than is printed.
Some kind of nasty torture event, that sucks.
And Dark Eldar have them.
6 attack, that sucks.
Yeah.
So this is going to be wild, man.
Unbelievable. Watch out for this guy, he's a heavy hitter. All right, next up we have Visions of Agony, a Dark Eldar event, 3 cost, 1 shield, tactic, and torture traded. Reading, action, look at your opponent's hand, what, and then, it doesn't actually say what, then choose and discard 1 card from that hand. Unbelievable.
All right. Here's the thing. I think that this is appropriately costed for what it is.
Yes.
I think this hovered between 2 cost and 3 cost.
Yeah.
And it's correct to make it 3. Because
I
it's a
agree.
supremely powerful effect, also a torture event.
Yes.
So it will trigger things like the Zuber Grotesque, and we're seeing a theme. What kind of nasty torture-based warlord are we going to see? We know it's going to be soon.
Yeah, it
could well be in this cycle.
The thing that is important to recognize is, I think that this shows some of the learning that happens at FFG. We've seen a lot of effects where you get to look at your opponent's hand, and often they're extremely undercosted.
Yep.
And it's a big penalty against your opponent. So making this expensive, I think, like you're saying, is the right choice.
Very good, very good. Looking at Archon's Palace, a unique support, costs 2 and is just a location for the Dark Eldar. Interrupt when your opponent wins a command struggle. Exhaust this support to cancel either the card bonus or the resource bonus of that planet in this phase. Here's the thing about this card. I don't think it's that good. I'm just going to come on and say it. But the most important reason is because it does not nullify the bonuses that someone gets for winning a command struggle.
That's true.
So your Void Pirate is still going to get you +1 card. Your Rogue Trader is still going to get you +1 resource. If you have things that trigger off winning command struggle, it's still going to happen. So I'm just wondering, if I'm building a deck, am I going to include a unique 2-cost support that may cancel 1 or 2 resources or 1 or 2 cards over the course of the game?
Yeah.
If you get it out first turn, it could be worth a lot more, but that's a 2-cost tempo hit for a cancel later on.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I think there's a lot of Dark Eldar cards, and this one's going to be hard to find a place. Only if everything comes together to make this kind of denial strategy backbreaking, I think will this happen.
The only thing that gives, I agree with you based off that assessment, the only thing that is giving me pause is that because it's unique and allied, I'm wondering if anything does give a plus bonus at a planet that it's contributing to, whether it's adding to the planet's bonus and not just a contributor.
That's true.
Because otherwise, if it weren't those things, I'd say you're right, it's not necessarily that good. But why make this unique? Why make this allied unless it didn't work that way?
You're right.
I don't know.
That deserves questioning.
Okay, yeah.
I said it with such confidence.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just going to say this and assume that I'm 100% correct on that.
All right.
So we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. I want to talk about this card.
Talk about it, baby.
All right, so this is the Vaulting Harlequin. It is a Eldar army, 3 cost, 2 command icons, great. 1 attack, 4 defense, classic Eldar. And then Warrior and Harlequin traded, reading combat action. Exhaust this unit to have it gain flying until the end of the phase. Holy smokes.
You can't kill it.
You can't kill it. It is going to be supremely annoying, but this is part of one of Eldar's strengths that's definitely coming to the front, is that they are going to play the command game as good, if not better, than anybody else in the game.
That's it, and that's what this guy's for. You throw him over somewhere, and it's like Sicarius and a dude come over, and they're like, I'm going to get a resource.
Yeah, I'm going to ice him. It's like, no, I'm flying. You're doing half damage.
I've got initiative. First thing I do, give him flying, let you do your thing, and then I just retreat him, and he's going back somewhere else.
Exactly.
I really do like this. I think this is a strong card for Eldar, and it really seals up that faction's strengths, you know?
And look at that poor little Chaos guy who's like,
yeah, I want to kill you.
You're flying or something.
I just can't.
I just can't. Great card there.
Let's talk about Empower for Eldar. It's a 3-cost event with 2 shields. It is a loyal card there. It is a power-traded event, which could well be an Eldar thing, right?
Yeah.
Play only during a battle, not during the combat phase, but during a battle, which is pretty interesting to me. Combat action. Each Eldar unit you control at a target planet gets +1 attack and +1 hit points till the end of the battle. We just talked about Eldar being very control-y, a lot of command struggle stuff. Straight up combat bonus.
Yeah. And yeah, like you're saying, they're very controlling, but they lack in the raw offensive power. Giving them something like this that just blankets the whole thing, fills in those gaps, is really awesome. And I think it's well costed. You don't want to give that to Eldar for cheap, and but nonetheless has 2 shields.
That's the thing, is that if this card were like Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum, we talked to Nate about how the color pie isn't that there's exclusive things that one faction has, but that they might pay more for certain privileges that other factions get cheaper. If this were an IAG or Astra Militarum, this could well be a one-cost event.
Exactly.
I mean, and it would have probably 1 or 0 shields, and it would be that. But in Eldar, it makes sense. You cost a lot because it's not something they're particularly great at, but when it needs to happen, it's going to go down.
Yep.
And there it is. 3 costs.
Great card. Great card. Oh, man. This thing. It's the Star Cannon, one of my favorite things in the game.
Aesthetic, man.
Yeah, it just looks amazing. Beautiful art here. It is an attachment for Eldar, of course. 0 cost, 1 shield, hardpoint and weapon traded. Hardpoint's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing who else gets that.
Right.
But anyway, attached to an Eldar vehicle arming unit, very specific, but attached unit gains armor bane.
Yeah.
And if you want something to just go your way routinely without any concerns, armor bane is what you want.
We've found out more and more that armor bane is really significant.
Yeah.
I mean, how significant that card or that ability is there, and having it on a vehicle, which is almost always going to be mobile. I mean, let's face it,
Yeah.
You're going to have mobile dudes, and this is going to be moving around the board. So I really do love this card, and you get a heavy-hitting vehicle with this on it. And some of the Eldar, do they have like the cancel, don't mess with me cards, basically? I mean, you could just have that heavy hitter, and it's like, try to control me. I'm going to cancel everything you do and then just destroy you. Even your Warlord, just Star Cannon right to the head of the Warlord.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably game ending.
Exactly. And it costs nothing. It costs you nothing. Beautiful.
Which is great.
Yes.
Allows you to put it on something and then
it interrupts the tempo. It interrupts the tempo. So what are you going to play for 0? Yeah.
I know what happened. Yes. Let's talk about the Piranha Hunter for Tau. Another fantastic Robert card here. 3 cost army, a vehicle, and a speeder. 2 attack, 2 defense. No war gear attachments, but it is mobile.
I love mobile.
And it does say after he moves from one planet to another, draw 1 card.
Holy smokes.
Incredible utility, man.
This is unbelievable. Worth noting that this is not one of the in-faction only cards.
Yes.
So this is going to be, the gem of either, Space Marines or Eldar's Eye, and Close Tau, of course. But drawing cards in this game outside of the command phase or the HQ phase is a big deal.
We will see this unit all over the place.
I'm sure we will. Great cost, great effects.
Let's talk about this on UE, or is this you? I think it's you, isn't it?
Is it me? Okay, yeah. How are we pronouncing this?
On UE.
On UE Prelate.
Yeah.
It is a 4-cost army for Tau. It is allied, and it is 4 attack, 3 hit points. Soldier, ethereal traded.
Ethereal.
Watch out for these ethereals.
Warlord, yeah.
They're crazy. It has ambush, and then reads reaction. After you deploy this unit, each other Tau unit you control at this planet gets +1 attack until the end of the phase, and then force reaction after this unit resolves its attack. Moving on back to the HQ.
Oh, it's so good, man.
Unbelievable.
I mean, just imagine. First of all that ethereal synergy coming in that new Warlord.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Second, he's got ambush. You throw him in for 4. Everyone gets +1. He attacks for 4. He leaves. And then all your guys still get +1. It's just like, this is what a prelate's supposed to do. It makes so much sense.
Hey everybody, let me lend a helping hand. Worth also noting that when you ambush him in, he will hit for 5. He's going to hit for 5. Unbelievable.
No, each other.
Oh, each other? Never mind. Scratch that. Reverse it.
We got it. Let's talk about the homing beacon because it's very important for this prelate.
Exactly.
1 cost support, limited, upgrade, non-unique. Reaction. After unit control moves to your headquarters, exhaust the support to gain 1 resource or draw 1 card. This will be in everything.
It will.
It has to be in everything. It has nothing to do with the ethereals, even though that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Just a simple retreat now gets you a card or a resource.
It costs 1. It's non-unique. And strangely, it's not even allied.
This is fantastic.
This may be one of the best cards of the pack.
Yeah, Space Marines are going to love this. I mean, everyone's going to love
Eldar, Tau. What a great faction to have backing you up. It's great. All right, last but certainly not least, the sole neutral card of the pack. It's a Calamity, Screams Insanity.
Holy Calamity!
So it is a 2-cost event with 1 shield, disaster traded, and then headquarters action. Return each army unit with printed cost 2 or lower to its owner's hand.
Let's not do that.
The game needs this card to exist,
It does.
and I think it's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
I think it's perfect.
Because sometimes, let me tell you, and I want to know what happens with token cards.
I'm pretty sure they get discarded.
Yeah, okay.
Based on past FFG like tendencies, I think they would get
I
discarded.
think you're right. But
Yeah.
anyway, this is a nice little slate cleaner. If you're getting too much swarm action against you, hey, just play this Calamity, and it will give you like a fighting chance again.
I like also that it really opens up a lot of possibilities. The reason this is so good to me is that you can run a 3+ curve deck and try to make that high curve work, right?
Yep.
Where it's like I might have some 1s and 2s, but the majority of my deck is big, like a Chaos deck, for instance. Might have a bunch of big dudes or a Dark Elder or something. Have a bunch of big dudes, and it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Every turn, potentially, for at least 3 turns out of the game, I can play this Calamity during headquarters, and then all your dudes are bounced. You can't keep up with that if I keep playing big guys.
Sure.
So it opens up some new deck builds, but it also gives you a way, of course, as we said, to reset problematic decks and problematic boards that are just too swarmy, to take over the board, 1 and 2 cost and 2 guard dudes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we need to reset things. And it's a headquarters action, which means you can play them all again next turn if you got the resources.
It's true.
So I think this is great, and you're also opening up a lot of possibilities for your opponent to now redeploy their forces in a more favorable way.
Yep.
You have to use it with caution, but I think a lot of decks are going to find this very useful, and I think it's good that it's in the game.
I think you're right. So, what do you think? First pack.
First pack is an absolute heavy hitter.
It is.
I think we get a fantastically awesome new Warlord, and if anyone thinks that the Blackmane guy is not good or not good for the game or whatever, just say to yourself, will I finally stop seeing so much Sicarius?
Yeah, right?
That's all that we can ask.
That's what we want.
I don't care. Space Marines are annoying, sure, but just take Sicarius off the board for half of a tournament. You know what I
More
mean?
importantly, take Sicarius' Chosen off the board for half the turn. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at this guy and it's like, these things are amazing, and then it's like, Sicarius' Chosen also amazing.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to decide, but I love the idea of this. I'm an aggro player, so this is really appealing to me. And all these cards that come with it. I mean,
Every faction got something that was really stellar. I hope this continues, but this already opens up the game in some really impressive new ways. So, what a great start to this first cycle.
the one thing that we keep learning is that FFG has continuously learned how to produce the right cards at the right cost.
Yep.
And as they get better, all these games just get better, and everything that we do gets more exciting, really.
Exactly.
So, thank you for joining us, guys. This has been the first war pack of the Conquest LCG
Man, I wish I knew the cycle name, honestly. I can't remember.
here at World Championship
Warlord
Weekend
cycle.
2014, the Warlord cycle. The first cycle, the original, the Genesis. Thank you for joining us. We've got this pack early from FFG. You can grab it on our store as well if you want it, and keep playing Conquest and exploring this game. It's phenomenal. A lot more coming for you guys from Worlds 2014. I'm going to drink some more coffee so I can talk this morning.
All right, man.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.